Hi and welcome to this episode of AGR Tech 1. I'm Alessio, and in today's tutorial we'll be taking a look at how to unroot and restock your Galaxy Ace GT-S5830 back to a full complete stock ROM. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I'm going to be restocking my Galaxy Ace, and this was requested by one of my channel members who asked if I could do a tutorial on how to unroot and basically get their Galaxy Ace back to complete stock. Now, the reasons you may want to do this is perhaps you installed a ROM like CyanogenMod, which I've got on my Galaxy Ace over here, and you want to return it back to full complete stock, unrooted out of the box. Now, I'm going to show you guys how to do that. Using Odin on the PC. Odin is a closed source program from Samsung, which is going to allow us to flash packages to this device, and we're going to be going through and flashing the stock image and going straight back to stock without root access. So just to show you guys, I am running on CyanogenMod right here. Okay, and this is an old version of CyanogenMod. So I'm going to go through and go to my app drawer. And if I scroll up here, you should see Super User. So it is rooted. And if I quickly go to Terminal Emulator and type in the SU command. Okay, so it's got a Super User request. And if I hit allow, it is running as user root at this point. So the device is rooted. And I'm quickly going to show you, if I go to settings here real quick. Scroll down and then go to About Phone. You'll see the model number is GT-S5830. Now, you may not see that clearly. I apologize if that is the case. Now, this method will only work on the GT-S5830 model. If you are doing this on a different version, then do not proceed, because it will brick your phone if you fail to do this step correctly. Now, like I said in my other videos, which a lot of people did complain about, that by flashing Clockwork Mod Recovery, it bricked their phone. Now, if yours is not this model, do not proceed. Now, if yours is GT-S5830, we're ready to go ahead and get started. So the first step is to clean up the ROM. So to do this, simply reboot into recovery mode. You should be able to do that if you followed my previous videos. Or if you're using a ROM like Cyanogen, just go to the reboot menu and then select recovery. And wait for the phone to power down. And once it goes through and powers down, we're going to go through and wipe the cache, Dalvik cache, and do a factory data reset. Now, at this point, you'll want to ensure that any important information is backed up. I will leave a link down below for some apps that you can use to back up information such as your contacts and other information. So go ahead and use those if necessary. Now, like I said, I do apologize if the quality isn't the best. So you basically want to go to Wipe Data Factory Reset and hit yes to delete all user data. So I'm going to do that real quick. So I'm going to go Wipe Data Factory Reset and yes, delete all user data. Okay, so it's taking a little bit of time. It may take longer depending on how much stuff you've got. Then you need to go down to Wipe Cache Partition, and yes, you need to go Wipe Cache, and then quickly go down to Advanced, and then select Wipe Dalvik Cache and hit yes. Alright, so once all that's done, you're ready to go ahead and get started. So go down to the, press back, go down to the Advanced option, and then go to the bottom where it says there should be a power off option. But anyway, basically now you can power the phone off, and you need to hold volume down, the center key and home button, the home button and the power key all together, and keep holding it until it forcibly restarts. And this will enter download mode. Okay, so once it goes into this screen and you see the yellow writing that says downloading, go ahead and connect your phone via USB cable to your PC. Now, at this point, you'll want to make sure that you've got the appropriate drivers for your Galaxy Ace installed on your PC. and it is connected to my PC right now, so I'm going to sit it aside. And when you plug it in the first time, Windows may install drivers. For me, it's installing right here. If you're using Windows 7 or anything higher, it will install all the drivers automatically. So it's gone through and installed the Samsung USB composite device. Now at this point also, you'll want to ensure that you have Samsung Kais installed. Now if you bought your phone from a official vendor, you'll have a CD that came with your phone which will have Samsung Kais on it. If you do, great, just put it into your computer and install it, and make sure that Samsung Kais and all the drivers are installed. You may need to restart your PC. This is a Windows only method, so if you do have a Mac or a Linux box, this will not work. So just make sure you're running on Windows. Now that you've got all the drivers installed, make sure that Samsung Kais is not running. Like I said, it should be installed but not running at this time. And now that all the drivers are done, I'm just going to go ahead and hit close. And you'll need to download a tool called WinRAR. If you've got this already, or you've got another tool like 7-zip, that should do as well. But make sure you've got a tool like this, because we will need to extract some files. So now that you've done that, you'll need to go to the link in the description and wait 5 seconds and then click skip ad. It will take you to a website where I'll host all the files necessary, and then just download the zip file and save it. You'll need to open it up and unzip the entire folder to your desktop, okay? Now once that's done, you'll see a couple of files. You'll have a Cooper v10.ops, and then you'll have Odin multi-downloader, and then you'll have the DLL file that's needed to run the program. Now this extra file won't be there. That's what I've put in there, and that is the firmware file for your phone. Now to get that, you'll need to head over to a website called sammobile.com, and I've already got the link here for the GT-S5830 firmware. Just go ahead and scroll down and pick the version which is applicable to your country and or carrier. So you've got United Kingdom, you've got Italy, you've got Vietnam, you've got France, Orange, Poland, T-Mobile, you've got Swisscom. You've pretty much got all of them, and for me, I just went right down here and selected the Australian firmware. So it's got here Australia, and if you were on Optus, if you have an Optus SIM card, then you go up here and go to the Optus Australian firmware. And basically you just want to click on that download link there where the Kai's icon is. So I'll just give you a real quick demo. So the Australian firmware, click on that button there, and when it says download firmware, just scroll down and go regular download and wait for it to finish downloading. It's also got steps here to enter download mode, which we already done. So now that you've got all of that sorted, make sure you've extracted everything into one folder onto your desktop for convenience. So I've got all the files here, and this is the file that you'll have. Make sure that you have a stable internet connection to ensure that the file is not corrupted. And at this point, you want to right click on the Odin multi-downloader and then select Run as Administrator. Okay, and go ahead and hit yes. And you will need to be logged in as administrator for this, of course. Now, once Odin fires up, you should see a yellow box which says COM and a number. This will indicate that your device is recognized by the PC. Now, as for the number, it does not matter. It's simply a random number by ports and other factors. Any number will do, it doesn't really matter. As long as it says COM, your device is detected. Now at this point, you want to go ahead and tick one package and make sure that auto reboot and the rest of the options are checked. Do not mess with anything else. Make sure debug only is unchecked, and then go ahead and click on OPS and open the cooper.ops file, which is in the same directory. Once you've loaded that file in, you'll need to scroll down again, and like I said, tick one package again, click on one package, and then select your MD5 file, which is the firmware you downloaded. Now, I like to stress, just before I click on open and let Odin do its thing, this process will wipe out any information on your device. So if you have any other ROMs like Cyanogen's mod, AOSP, anything like that, they will be gone and you will revert straight back to unrooted stock, okay? So keep that in mind. So I'm going to go ahead and click on open, and once everything is filled out here, it will verify all the files are okay. So I've got OK for MD5, so everything is fine. And now you just want to go ahead and click on start. Now do not touch the device at this time, leave it connected to your PC, and it will go ahead and flash all of the necessary components to the device. So I'm going to pause this portion of the video and come back once it's done. That way you don't have to watch all of it, but it's going to go through and flash the system images, the stock recovery and all that sort of stuff. So like I said, don't mess with your phone. Make sure that it's 100% charged prior to doing this. That will ensure that everything is fine and you won't end up with a bricked phone. So it's going through, it's going to flash everything. It should take about 3 to 5 minutes or so. Just leave it like that, and this program will probably work for Windows XP to Windows 7. You can run it on Windows 8, 8.1. As for Windows 10, it should work, but I'm not entirely sure if it'll work 100% correctly. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave this for a sec, and I'll come back once it's all done. After the flashing has been completed, you should see a blue box that indicates pass within Odin. If that is the case, you are all good to go. You can go ahead and unplug the device from the PC, and it will restart several times during the process. You will see some yellow text appear on the screen. Leave it connected, don't freak out, it's normal. It's basically just flashing all the correct components, and your phone should reboot now at this point and reboot straight onto the operating system. However, unfortunately that's not always the case. As for me, I am experiencing a boot loop. So if your device is in a boot loop like mine, first thing you need to do is disconnect your phone from the PC, because once it says pass, you do not need it connected to the PC anymore. And basically take off the battery and do a battery pull and take out the battery. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take out the battery. Alright, and take it out for roughly about 10 seconds or so. Insert the battery once more and restart the device again. Now if this does not work still, you'll quickly need to boot into the stock recovery, and then from there you'll be able to go ahead and wipe the cache and data, and that should fix the problem. If it doesn't, you may need to repeat the process. Perhaps you got the wrong firmware. Sometimes that can happen even if it's the right device. So mine's going ahead booting up with the Optus splash screen and the Samsung logo here, and I'll come back once it's all booted up. And there you go. With that, you should be back to a stock clean interface without root access on your device. So just to confirm, we'll go to settings real quick. Sorry not about that. Basically you want to jump into settings real quick. Okay, and scroll down, go to about phone, and you guys can see the model number GT-S5830, and we're on stock Android 2.3.5 Gingerbread, and the build number is XWKSB, which is the stock firmware, and the kernel is the default kernel as well. So we'll go out of here, and everything should work now as expected. You can go through and restore everything. This is all the Optus bloatware basically that they've put on here with the firmware. But now you are back on the stock ROM. So for those of you who watch my other videos on how to root the Galaxy Ace and how to install Clockwork Mod Recovery, also how to install custom ROMs, you may want to revert back to stock. For whatever reason, perhaps you've just gotten sick of the ROMs and want to go back to what you had before. This is going to be the best way to do it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe down below if it helped you out. Also check out our Facebook page, also links for those in the description, and also add me to your circles on Google+. All the necessary links will be in the description as always. Now, also an update, I haven't been making videos for quite some time. I do apologize for that. I've had a lot of stuff going on. I have got a new computer now. You guys can see the new monitor there. So I'll be able to make some much better videos from now on with better editing. I'm still learning how to use all the editing stuff, but I will be making much better quality videos from now on. Also, I'm working on getting a proper website up. Currently I've got one on Weebly, but I'm working on setting up my own domain, so I'll be able to have a website for you guys with all the download links, everything all updated, There will be no dead links anymore. Everything will be fine. And also in future, I do plan to set up an online store. So definitely support me by clicking the subscribe button below and sharing the URL for this video and all my other videos with your friends, whether that being on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. I really need your support, guys, and I'll definitely be making some much better content from now on. So thank you very much. I hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time, this is AGR Tech 1 signing off.